The familiar Omnitrix has been upgraded in Ben 10. After they were updated, some have gained aliens with godlike powers. Others have been given armors that enhance their abilities, and others have had the ultimate versions and even alien fusions. Now, to find the most powerful updated Omnitrix, we would have to keep in mind that it doesn't just depend on the aliens. The user and how they've known how to use it matters a lot. Adding the most important event the Omnitrix has ever done will give us the most powerful one of all. I know it's been tough, but please stick with me until the end of this video to find out which is the most powerful updated Omnitrix of Ben 10. Before starting, I want to clarify that we'll only discuss events shown in the series, and not what they apparently can do. Now let's discuss the most exciting part, the most powerful aliens each Omnitrix has provided. The first recalibrated Omnitrix had Alien X, a god who could literally reverse any action in space and time. But in truth, he was an uncontrollable alien.
Alien X can't act without a vote. We tested you since you're new. Got it, genius?
You will never come back.
So on second thought, the most powerful alien in this Omnitrix was very big. The sheer power that this alien possessed was put to the test in a battle with a giant Vilgax. The squid had been infected by a strange substance that gave him this size. Even though he was very big, he couldn't do much. Ben was in serious mode. And when that happens, the potential of his aliens is very dangerous.
Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself.
Classic!
The Ultimatrix 2.0 has the most powerful ultimate version of Ben 10,000.
Ultimate Ben.
What powers do you have like that?
Well, a bunch. Among the most important, he has the ability to use the powers of all his aliens without transforming. For me, the alien transformations lose merit because the most impressive aspect was the aliens themselves. He grows and deforms, looking like Supreme Humungousaur. It gives the viewer a feeling of discomfort. This is the real Supreme Humungousaur. Albedo's Ultimatrix gave him this transformation, although if we're being honest, his most powerful transformation is Supreme Albedo with Azimuth's brain. With this, he could fly, create psychic shields, emit a ray from his third eye, which had enough power to eliminate an alien like Multi-Eyes. He possessed an incredibly strong observation haki, allowing him to see the future and even remember what would happen tomorrow. The reboot of the first updated Omnitrix offered us Omni-Enhancements, some armors that strengthened the alien's abilities with explosive energy. Diamond Head was the most favored here. If his body could already deflect some energy attacks, with his armor he could absorb them to create swords or whips, which he could then switch for this energy cannon, with which he made Vilgax's life miserable on one occasion. The second upgrade could have given us a Mungosaur who was already strong to begin with. Now imagine him with a tail that can generate sonic frequencies. The dinosaur was insanely overpowered when he got serious or when he activated his Omni-Kicks armor, which is the strongest version that the third update of this Omnitrix could give us. Unlike the Omni-Enhancements, these armors were created by the Omnitrix itself, which were part of a security protocol. Advanced technology amplified the alien's abilities. So Mungosaurio indulged himself by transforming into Godzilla, emitting a powerful energy beam from his mouth. His strength was clearly going to increase, and among his notable physical features were the new spikes on his tail, with which he could unleash even more powerful attacks. And thanks to the suit, he could even deflect energy. He was incredibly powerful, almost like the Biomnitrix fusions. The future Ben showed us aliens that appeared powerful but had a significant weakness. They never really managed to combine well and bring out the full potential of both parts. Look, we would all think that Atomic X would be the most powerful alien in this Biomnitrix. However, whenever we've encountered him, he made a fool of himself. Destroyed by a Chronosapien bomb or humiliated by Malware's time paralysis. Having the abilities of a celestial alien like Alien X and the powers of Atomix. It's a pity that this fusion doesn't even achieve half of its potential. The one and only Four-Armed Saurus turns out to be the most powerful fusion in this Omnitrix. Just look at him. With the punches he threw at you, he could recreate the attacks of a reboot Mungosaur. Although this will depend a lot on the user who handles this type of Omnitrix. This Ben 10,000 had the skills and knowledge to create his own Biomnitrix. When it comes to battle, he learned to measure his enemy's power level. He did what he had to do, albeit not with the ideal speed and decisiveness, but he managed to get it done. He was also always the bearer of bad news.
And the temporal beasts of Malfruento are in an interdimensional struggle.
This war in time is being lost.
War in time? Fabulous.
Engaging with Ben 10,000 always led to a multiversal war, as with the Bens from the reboot. The first one was immature, the second gained a bit more experience, but the third one was the ultimate evolution of all this. This Ben was aware of how to put all his power into a battle. Albedo, although he was always a Galvan, never had the coherence to learn how to use the Omnitrix. He had strategies, but when it was time to use his aliens, it was all over. Albedo focused on strength, like if I have to use an ultimate from the very first minute, I'm going to use it. But this ranking has shown us that no matter how strong your aliens are, it doesn't do much good if you can't actually use them. The little we learned about Ben 10,000 made us believe he's truly the best. With a calm attitude, he always knew what he had to do. This Ben was cool enough to mock his enemies right in the middle of battle.
Coward! You can't hide from me!
I'm not hiding, I'm making an entrance.
The maturity he gained made him the perfect Ben. When he had to be there, he was saving you with Diamond or with a simple spell he learned from his cousin. The last Ben had all these qualities, and even though he was better than Albedo and all the Bens from the reboot, he still couldn't compare to his future versions. Among his most important accomplishments, the first recalibrated Omnitrix saved the universe. He saved the entire universe by curing an alien species that would have destroyed it otherwise.
Enjoy the view. You're about to witness the end of life in the universe.
Everything is lost.
The Highbreed were dying, and as their final act, they had decided to destroy all the planets that seemed impure. Ben was standing before the High Command, and without many options, he came up with the idea to mix his DNA with random species from the Omnitrix database.
What have you done?
I ordered the Omnitrix to reprogram your DNA.
And judging by your appearance, I'd say it worked.
Omnitrix!
Program finished.
Welcome to the Impure, a big point for the first Omnitrix. The next Omnitrixes haven't had an event as important as the first one. But if we're going to choose one, let's stick with the one that seems most important, the Ultimatrix 2.0. Ben 10,000's Omnitrix granted him access to one of Ben 10's most powerful transformations, with which he managed to save this ship twice in the same day.
Or rather, twice in 20 years.
It might not seem like such an important act, but looking at Gwen and Ben's faces, when you consider that a single person was able to prevent this, it does give them some recognition. Albedo and his recalibrated Omnitrix have achieved something important besides stabilizing his transformations. He has managed to elevate them to their pinnacle by accessing his true self, ultimate form, and I'm going to destroy the universe form.
With my supreme evolved superlative brain, I will make the universe perfect.
Do you still think I'm a freak?
Imagine stealing Azimuth's brain, and with that, having the power not only to control people, but also to predict their next moves. A good point for Albedo's Omnitrix. Now, moving on to the reboot, the first recalibrated Omnitrix allowed him to access its interior to prevent an alien invasion. From the Fulmini, to be specific, imagine the danger. Even Vilgax knew he had to stop them.
They are an energy-based species.
Once they escape from the confines of your watch, they'll use the Earth against itself.
They must be stopped before they set foot on solid ground.
Inside the Omnitrix, I would be betrayed by Vilgax.
Classic trick!
But ultimately, Ben would access one of the most powerful fusions, eliminating the Fulmini leader, stopping an alien invasion, and upgrading what would become his next Omnitrix in the process. With this, the Omnitrix itself didn't do anything important, but it did have a noteworthy moment, the help of an enemy to save lives together.
All right, hurry up before I change my mind!
The latest Omnitrix update was significant, particularly in the major Ben 10 and Generator Rex special. The whole world was transformed into aliens. The Omnitrix was infected by nanites, causing this event. Hex exploited the infected aliens, causing the situation to spiral out of control. With the help of both heroes, they reversed the flow of DNA, eliminating the nanites and curing the world of the alien transformations. The Biomnitrix is already an important event in itself. The very replica of an Omnitrix that can create a function is already a big deal for this one. When it comes to aliens, I'm going to stick with the Omnitrix from the first recalibration. And it's not that I have doubts, but I do have proof that he could easily take on any of these aliens on the list. As for the user, Ben 10,000 from Alien Supremacy has a huge advantage over any of these Bens. This one has the ability and the coldest mindset of them all. Additionally, he knows karate and can defend himself against multiple attackers. If needed, he can even use mana spells. This Ben doesn't need the Omnitrix to be the best, and he's proven it. When it comes to events, I was a bit selfish. No Omnitrix will come close to the Highbreed event. This was a unique event. Not only did it save the universe, it made the name Ben Tennyson resonate throughout the galaxy. Thanks to all the events we've been able to see in the Ben 10 series. It has shown us that this is the best updated Omnitrix of Ben 10. To be honest, I'm not satisfied with the result, because personally I love the Ultimatrix 2.0. But I think that the third update of the Omnitrix from the reboot used by someone with experience wouldn't have any competition. So I've decided that the video doesn't end here. This continues in the comments with your powerful opinions. If you believe either Ben 10,000 is the best, give this video a big like. Meanwhile, I'm playing the first game of the reboot. Because I also need to make a summary and finish that saga, I only have 2 videos left. Well, that's all from me. With the company of these amazing people, I say goodbye. Remember, I'm Frio, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.